Hello investors, my name is Avnish Jain and I head fixed income at Canara Robeco. As we come to the end of 2021 and usher in 2022, let's take a step back and look at the learnings of 2021. The year started with a lot of optimism as the economies recovered from the crippling first wave of COVID and people started coming back in droves. However, COVID had different ideas. The second wave hit very sharply and very drastically on economies in the second half of the year, and a lot of localized lockdowns were in place. However, this time the learnings from the first lockdown helped governments and people to better navigate through the second lockdown. The severity of the second lockdown was not as severe as the first lockdown. A lot of industries continued to function as normal within the COVID protocols, and economies continued to chug along. However, there was impact on growth in the second quarter of this year. As the second wave phased away, we saw good growth coming back as the economic activity picked up and economies came back to normal after the devastating second wave of COVID. Globally, macroeconomic numbers have been good and we have seen growth coming back strongly. However, inflation concerns have started picking up from the second quarter of this year. In the early part, central banks chose to ignore the inflation numbers, citing supply pressures and bottlenecks as the main cause for inflation spike. As inflation continued to spike in the third quarter of this year, central banks started getting worried and looked at ways of how to arrest the rise of inflation in future. The US Federal Reserve in the last two meetings has indicated a cutting down of purchases which they were making to ensure that economics survived through the COVID pandemic, have started cutting down on those purchases in a big way. Also, they have indicated that the rate hikes, which were earlier thought to be late into 2023, are now expected to happen in early part of 2022. This will have an impact on overall markets, both equities and debts. Across the Atlantic, the Bank of England took the first step of raising rates, raising their key policy rate by 0.15 percentage points, first time in almost 2 years. Other central banks across the world, especially in emerging markets, have already been raising rates in the past 3-4 months to ensure that the inflation does not go out of hand. In India, while RBI has been on hold for almost last 2 years, they have started withdrawing liquidity through their variable reverse repo rate auctions slowly to ensure that the cost of funding at the lower end and overnight rate starts picking up. Again, this is to battle inflation. While inflation is not a big issue in India right now because inflation is below 5%, but still going forward it could become an issue. On the other side, the government has been also active in trying to manage inflation through cuts in excise duties on fuel like petrol and diesel and other asset classes. Now let's look at to 2022, what is expected in 2022. The picture remains hazy simply because the virus itself is very unpredictable and the uncertainty created by the virus is creating economic uncertainty and the policy making is becoming extremely difficult. While all central banks have embarked upon reduction of stimulus, the policy needs to be flexible simply because the virus can create problems along the way. Central banks have to be both flexible to incoming data and ready to reverse policy at the first signs of trouble. But at the current juncture, central banks are more worried on inflation rather than growth. In the US, the central bank believes that the growth is well set in and it can take a bit of tightening. In the base case, we believe that economic growth will pick up in 2022 despite some small disruptions by the virus, and inflation will likely come down overall in the next year, one, because of base effect, and second, because as the supply and bottlenecks become more clearer, the inflation from the primary articles and due to supply disruptions should fade away. General expectation of the market is that inflation globally should come down by end of 2022. In India also, RBI expects that inflation will peak in the first quarter of 2022, then it will come down in the second quarter of 2022 calendar year. In terms of rates, it is expected that US Federal Reserve will likely raise rates by almost 1 percentage points in the next year itself, and following it up with more rate hikes in 23 and 24. This is likely to be bad for emerging market flows, but the market is well positioned for the same, and we don't see much disruptions because of the same. From RBI's perspective, the policy is likely to remain hold till probably mid of next year. We feel that RBI will follow the larger central banks across the world for policy making and probably raise rates in the second half of next year. In terms of liquidity, there is ample liquidity in the system, and RBI has been trying to ensure that the rates on the short end go higher without any rate increases. And the rates have been inching up in the past few months on the short end. Also on the long end, there has been some correction. This process is likely to continue for the next quarter, and we believe that RBI may hold rates till probably May, June of next year, when we may see a rate hike coming for the first time. Again, that is data dependent and also dependent on how the COVID pandemic pans out, especially with the new Omicron variant coming in and creating uncertainty in the environment. In terms of rate direction, we believe that the curve will flatten. Short-term rates, meaning the short-term rates will go faster, higher than the longer-term rates. Longer-term rates have already corrected in the last few months simply because of larger supply as well as inflation fears. As inflation is expected to trend downwards in the second half of next year, the long curve should not rise more than the short end, and curve should flatten more in the second half of this year. So we don't expect a sharp rise in yields, but yes, there will be pressure on yields in the next couple of months. From an investor perspective, investors should continue to invest according to their risk appetite and investment horizon. For long-term investors, we feel that probably the duration funds could be a good bet considering their high yields at that end. While for the short-term investment horizon investors, we feel that the short duration fund and the corporate bond funds are good bets. I think the investors should continue to take a long-term view because we know that because of the COVID virus and the pandemic, the uncertainty is here to stay. So it's better that the investors continue to look at the long term and not really look at the short-term volatility in the markets. Thank you, and I wish everyone a very, very happy New Year.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.